Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Pidgeot. So, looking at the bird Jesus himself and its stats, we are not dealing with the most potent Pokemon. It was able to work very well in Twitch Plays Pokemon, but in the competitive scene, it is a very out-of-place Pokemon while still being potentially very strong. Again, when you're dealing with Pokemon with stats like these, they're fairly low, balanced, but are strong enough to where you can find a competitive niche for the Pokemon. As I say in almost every situation, if you have Baton Pass and you want this Pokemon to work, that's the freebie to make any Pokemon work. Go out and do that. But if you want to use Pidgeot in the raw, it's still very doable, has a good amount of base speed. With that 101 speed, you're outspeeding the 100 base speed, which is the benchmark. That, once a Pokemon has 100 base speed, it's pretty much regarded as in that kind of ready to be a sweeper category. And Pidgeot's in the top, I believe, 80 Pokemon for highest speed. That might not sound like a lot, but if you have a jolly nature and then they have a modest nature, or not a speed boosting nature, something of that regard, then that means you're going to be able to outspeed, I believe, the top 35 Pokemon. So that 101 speed is pretty good as long as you are just going all in with that speed. It does mean you are sacrificing offensive qualities and your attack isn't the greatest at only 80, but you do have a lot of high damaging moves. You do have a lot of options with Choice Band and Life Orb. I'll get into that later. So after that, time to go and look at its typing. Flying normal Pokemon, pretty basic. You have a lot of just neutral hits. You have a few weaknesses. You just have that Rock, Electric, Ice. You have a good amount of immunities, though. You are immune to Ghost and Ground, which is fairly beneficial in a double battle team. That means you can put it next to a Pokemon using Earthquake, and you kind of get some setup like that. And it's also resistant to Bug and Grass. Resistances aren't the best. The weaknesses, fairly common. Everyone's packing a Rock and an Ice move, it feels, nowadays, and Electric's getting more popular. So your weaknesses are pretty common. The idea with Pidgeot is you want to hit first, hit hard, and then try to just not endure a super effective hit and try to go and do something with that. So now we hop over into Pokemon Showdown. Pidgeot. Alright, let's go make these stats work. I was thinking go with that Jolly Nature. Try to get your speed in that 330 range. Like I said, if the opponent has a base speed of 115 and they are not using a speed boosting nature, you're going to be good. You're going to be able to outspeed them, and if you're hitting super effective with that Brave Bird, or you're just getting a really strong return on them, you could have a good chance to get a KO. Now, when I did my last strategy on Pidgeot, I did not know how amazing Keen Eye is. Keen Eye actually makes it to where Pokemon that have used evasion boosting moves, it doesn't matter. It ignores evasion. So now Keen Eye can be a really good pivot Pokemon to shut down your opponent's evasion Pokemon. It also has a lot of good options up its sleeve, and I'll go into that more as well. So what I was thinking is to make the most out of its offensive stat, like 259 offense. It's not good. It's not the best, honestly. And then, the idea is you throw a Choice Band on that, and you try to get it rolling. It's going to put it into a nice range, and that Brave Bird, if super effective, has some good KO potential. Return is a 2-hit KO, and you're looking at something like that. Also, its defenses, without any investment, you are able to survive at least two, or at least you're able to survive at least one neutral hit from most Pokemon, so you can make it work in your favor. I like having Mirror Move as an option as well, because Mirror Move uses the target's last used move against it. So if it uses something really strong, gets a KO, Pidgeot can come in as a good revenge killer, and it could be a really interesting thing. And also you have U-turn, just because when you're choiced, you sometimes just have a bad situation met up against you. U-turn, get out, try to get some chip damage, and make the best of the situation. Now, there are other ways to run Pidgeot, such as bringing a Life Orb to the party. This gives you a lot more options. Now, this isn't a moveset over here, but these are some of the other options you're looking at. Heat Wave for that 4 times super effective Fire-type hit. That could go pretty well in your favor. We also have Defog, removes hazards from the field and lowers the foe's evasion. That's one to look into, because, if you have Defog and Keen Eye, you're hitting against the Pokemon that are boosting their evasion. Your Keen Eye is doing that. Your Defog is going to be removing hazards. So it's kind of like a double kind of setup, that you're eliminating some stats and you're also eliminating some hazards. We also have Feather Dance if you want to try to, lower your opponent's attack really harshly. force them to switch out or get some really good damage in. And quick attack, just because focus sash, sturdy, and all those things are very annoying, and if you can get that quick little hit in, it could mean a lot. Also, I just got an idea, so trying to figure out, like, Pokemon Showdown, they do have the damage calculator. I want to see how much Heat Wave does against the 4 times weak Pokemon. That way we can get some live stats. Okay, good, everything does kind of fit. So let's look with Scizor. Let's do Mega Scizor. Let's go and see Heat Wave. Heat Wave. Not a one-hit KO. So, 2-hit KO, it's one of your better options, and I don't think it's going to get much better for Ferrothorn. The reason why I wanted to add this is because, yeah, it's barely even 50%. The reason why I wanted to add this is because a lot of people mentioned that in my last video. Just because you get that 4 times weakness, just because you get that pocket special move doesn't make it amazing. That's why I'm not the biggest, I don't find the biggest strength in special Tyranitar and special Pokemon that aren't really meant to be special. Sure, Pidgeot isn't a good example, but it is something that Heat Wave isn't even that great. I would try to just switch into a counter to Ferrothorn or Scizor. Try to pack one of those. What else do we got? Yeah, Heat Wave's also probably a transfer move. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just kind of looking at the Bird Jesus. Once again, updating the strats just a bit. And if you really want to use it, don't let that hold you back. You can make it work. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day.